us through one of these and how it works, because I see them, and as soon as it says, "Dear Sir, I am with the Nigerian," and then that's all I see, and then I just delete. But walk me through one of these and how it actually turns into cash in their hands out of our pockets.
Okay, here's an example. Let's say you're in Nigeria. What you do is you get the email addresses of about 10,000 people. That's not a difficult thing to do. There's organizations and legitimate and otherwise who will provide email addresses. You send these emails to all 10,000 people, and maybe about 10 of them will respond. You select different people, and you'll say something like, "I have a big trunk full of gold dust. I need help transporting it." You could say, like, "I'm a soldier in Iraq, and I found this gold dust, and I need to have it sent to the United States. All I need for you is to pay $5,000 for the shipping of the gold dust, and then we'll split it when we sell it in the United States." And you think, well, this is a good deal. So he gives you the email address of another scammer, or just himself, with just a new email address, and that person is the courier. He's the person who, for example, will you have to pay the money to, so the gold dust can get delivered to you. If you would fall for this, if you would go ahead and pay them, typically they then come back and say that there's another problem that requires even more money, like taxes or anything. They come up with all kinds of ridiculous excuses. And if you would pay that, then a short time later there's yet another fee. This continues until either you realize it's a scam and you stop doing this, or they have all your money.
Have you ever found a case where they sent some money, just some seed money, to keep the person in it?
You mean, yes. None that I've been worked on or people that I've warned, but I have read about some where they send people worthless items like rugs, and they claim that it's an antique rug, and of course they take it to an appraiser and it's not worth anything. So occasionally things do show up in the mail. There's also a kind of scam called a wash scam, where money has been blackened supposedly, and you need special chemicals to clean it. And of course these chemicals are very expensive, and they'll send some fake $100 bills that are totally black, and they claim they're $100 bills.
Okay. There are other people that do what you do.
Lots of them. There's entire armies out there of people who are baiting. Just put in scam baiting into Google, and you can visit our little world. And of course, the very best website of all is 419hell.com.
Some of the people, though, that do this scam baiting are none too happy with your techniques.
Yes, there's one or two things that bother some baiters. There's whenever you have any group of people doing anything, there's always going to be some people who disagree with certain tactics. One of them is that I'd like at some point, usually in a scam bait, to tell the scammer that I've been baiting him. Near the end, after I've wasted a huge amount of his time and money, I like to go into a tirade and that basically tells the scammer that I've been messing with him. Some baiters say you shouldn't do that because you don't want to educate the scammer into accidentally by letting him know that there are baiters out there. But I love it for the entertainment value. I mean, it's like the big fight at the end of the Rocky movie. I mean, that's the neatest part of the whole scam bait for me.
Well, certainly the one where you were the Calvin Huckle character, and then one of the first stories in the RFT story about you, where you went right after the scammer's mother. It had to be very satisfying to you.
Oh, that was enormously satisfying. Well, these people are such scambags, and they hurt so many people, and their motives are so nefarious that you really do not have to feel bad for anything you say. And I love to diss their mamas, because in most cultures that's a terrible insult, but in Nigeria in particular, that's where mothers are revered. That's a particularly scathing thing to say. And so yes, I imply that their mothers are promiscuous and other various insults.
Very, very nice, cleaned up version.
Thank you. That was it. Because if you want to hear the dirty version, go to either 419hell.com or pick up your Riverfront Times.
Paul Kinsella is with us, and we'll take a quick break and talk a little bit more about this, but also some other things he's involved with that might pique your interest. quick timeout. Also, welcome back. Carney Show, KMOX. Paul Kinsella is with us and doing all that he can to stop these scammers. These emails have ended up in your box, I'm sure, that someone needs to get some money out of Nigeria, or somebody's got gold dust, or there are literally hundreds of these things that show up in people's emails, and most of us go, oh, whatever, we throw it away. But, it only takes a couple, and billions of dollars are being lost because people are falling prey to this stuff. So people like Paul and others have set out to trick the tricksters, so to speak. And Paul joins us on the program tonight. And again, thanks for being with us.
Oh, you're welcome.
419hell.com to kind of chronicle some of his adventures in the form of transcripts and audio, just so you can see exactly what's going on, and including reaching out to some victims. And we were talking about one guy who, even when presented with evidence, still was sending money to some of these scammers. But you've also worked with some other people with good results and bad results that have been victims of these scammers as well.
Yeah, JJ was an exception that, to the rule that most victims realized that they were being scammed after I warned them, and they stopped. JJ is an extreme example, though, of someone who I just could not convince to stop giving money to scammers. There was one woman named Veronica who recently I warned, and in her particular case, she did not lose that much money to the scammers. It was a total of $560, I believe. However, she also lost her daughter to the scammers, in a way. What happened is she was on disability, and she didn't have much money. And what little money she did have, she gave to the scammers, and thinking that there would be a payoff. She was told that there was $10 million in a trunk, and whatever. Of course, there was no money coming in. She lost what little money she had. She didn't have money for food and bills and things like that, and she didn't have a job because she was disabled. So her adult son reported this to the authorities, and the authorities came, and she had a daughter who was living with her, and the authorities told her that the daughter would have to move and be with go live with her father in a different state because the mother and father were divorced. So these scammers have devastated this woman. They've taken her daughter away from her and have damaged her life, and all for the amount of money that you couldn't even buy a really good couch with.